Hey.
Welcome. I'm Nicole Alonzo. I play Tank in Crawl or Die.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. Usually Friday night is not a lot of people. So Friday night is typically like the hardest night. People get off work and they...
That's not your name.
What's not my name?
I just introduced myself and you're like, where's everybody?
What?
You're supposed to introduce yourself when we start, you dummy. Yeah. How many shots have you had?
Right. I'm Oklahoma Ward, writer, producer, director, yada, 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 of Crawl or Die.
What's up, Steve? Hey, Johnny. Hey, Jason. How's it going? So we have exciting stuff. We're we have a new GIF to premiere again.
And look, I can comment back to people now on the...
Yeah, we got some things figured out, believe it or not.
Yeah, that only took us a little bit of time.
What's up, Jeremy? Welcome.
Hey.
I love your picture, by the way, with your puppy. I was finally able to be here at the beginning of the stream. Nice.
Hey, Steve.
What's up, Steve? Hey, Corey. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right. So I know you don't usually like me to just right out the gate. Hey, Matt. Hello.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? Matt's gonna be here tomorrow evening.
Yes, we are doing a live with him and Lori, and if anyone else is here, but we're going to talk about some of the special effects work. And hi, Lori, and how the creature was built and stuff like that. So
And I'll be sure to have like 50 questions, because if I don't, Matt will be the quietest person in the world. So I've got like 50 questions for him. And a lot of them, and by the way, I'm going to take a baseball bat to Matt again. On Twitter, there are literally over 20 questions asking about special effects. And you know how many that Matt has answered? 0.
Goose egg. Oh, my.
Matt, for being such a fantastic, not only great actor, and not only somebody who understands movies very well, and is a fantastic special effects artist, is maybe the most technically jarbled person I've ever met, except for I find it amazing he can post the hell out of Facebook.
I actually think Twitter is easier if you think about it. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it is.
It's like tweet and that's it. You just tweet.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? It's cool. We'll get him on there.
So tonight's going to be the last night of about an hour's worth of talking. Starting tomorrow, we're going to be going up to 2 or 3 hours, and by Monday we'll probably be up to 4 or 5 hours, and then probably by Wednesday we'll probably be starting our 10 or 15 hours live. For example, one of the things that we'll be doing is while I'm here editing, I can join the cast every once in a while. I can share the screen a little bit of me actually editing in real time. I have to be very careful because I don't want to give away
movie plot points.
Right, but ironically, and it drives Nicole crazy, I can spend 5 hours on 32 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that might drive other people crazy. I guess we can find out.
People can see all the time. People are like, "Oh, I'd love to come and watch edit," and I go, "Oh yeah, okay, sure." They last maybe about 30 minutes. Now I see them checking their phone, then they have something to do. It's not what people think. You know, it's going over somebody saying hello, 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 and then me going, yeah, I don't like that. Let me cut to another scene and overlay the sound of them saying hello.
Yeah, and to be clear, that's what drives me crazy is when you listen to it. It's literally like, we're gonna get it, we're gonna get it, like over and over and over and over, and it's
I love it.
Yeah.
I actually there was a group a while back in Austin called the 501 Studios that a friend of mine helped manage.
It's an art form. It definitely is.
And hey, Alita.
Addie, what's up? That's Adele to you.
I know who it is.
Hi, Addie.
And so this was a studios that Robert Rodriguez, Richard Linkletter, all of them used that studio in Austin. And that's where overnight I got to use their studio because of my friend. So I got to watch an editor. I'm not going to say what he was working on, but because I wasn't supposed to be there because of NDA agreements and everything. But I got to watch an editor working on a multi-million-dollar movie, and I must have been there for 6 hours. I was in my world watching them, and I remember he didn't say a word to me, and about 4 hours in, he turned around and he was like, "So, are you just being polite? You're welcome to leave." And I was like, "No, like you're gonna have to kick me out of here." And he went, "You want some food?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You probably need to use the restroom." I was like, "Well, I didn't want to bother you." He's like, "Go ahead, I'll order some food." And we sat there for another 3 or 4 hours. This is what I love about editors. Didn't say a word to me the whole time. We ate. And I was in heaven.
Well, he probably has to focus, you know? Like, that's why when you're in here editing, I don't bother you. I just sort of let you do your thing. And
yeah. The worst is, everybody's a critic. And so even friends of mine who understand, they'll be there and they'll be watching something. And then they'll ironically, they'll say something. And it's sweet. It's coming from the heart. And they're like, I mean, is there a problem going on? And I'll have to stop because I gotta get my brain out of that world. I turn around and I go, I'm sorry, what? And they're like, well, I mean, like I have an idea there. And you're like, yeah, no, I don't need your idea. I'm working on it.
The opportunity of a
It's
lifetime
fine.
with a major studio editor, major geek out.
Yeah, it was. What I loved about it is he was wearing a pair. I'll never forget it. This is why I knew he was an editor. He was wearing a pair of like 2X size Hawaiian printed with palm trees and a surfboard girl
A surfbird.
set up in a grass skirt.
Surfbird.
It was just printed all over his shorts. But he should have been wearing like a large, but he didn't care. And then he was wearing a shirt that had the what was the famous line from the Linklater movie? What I love about high school girls is,
Lord.
the
All
age
right,
thing.
all right,
He
all
was wearing
right.
that and had a hole in it and had a big mustard stain on it, and he had thinning hair and these big thick glasses. And I was just like, I love editors. I was like, this is great.
Is that where you got your fashion tips from? You dress very similar to that.
No, I was dressed very similar to it when I was in there.
You dress like that now. What are you talking about?
I know. Anyway, yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, yeah, we have a new GIF reveal.
Well,
tonight.
I do want to reveal it, but I is Tana here? Because it is Tana's GIF, and I did text her about it, so I was hoping she'd be here. If not, we'll go ahead and reveal it, and she can see it later. But if she is here, that'd be good. I'll give her a second for the chat if she's here.
So I was going to mention something real quick because something amazing happened today. When we did our PR for the first movie, we got kind of we had this argument amongst ourselves.
Yes,
we felt
Jimmy.
kind of bad because we were like, we're just slamming this out on all of our feeds over and over and over again. And today reminded me why you do that. Because if you think about it, let's use Twitter if you have Twitter.
Oh, Tana is here, so.
If you're watching your feed, you only watch the feed when you open up. And when something goes through your feed, you don't see it. Same thing on Facebook. I mean, unless you specifically follow somebody's page, I mean, how many times do we all open up the phone, you just scroll through stuff, and you have no idea what happened an hour earlier or an hour after. And why that's important is that's why we learned we have to retweet, we have to put everything out every hour, 24 hours a day. And if you just go to somebody's feed, you go, oh, wow, this is all they're talking about. But to other people, it's not that way. Case in point, there's a huge supporter of ours who just now today saw that we had the campaign out.
And I think it's because we retweeted an old tweet of his or something, and he was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
So
and he was like, "Dude, I check my feed every day, and I haven't seen any of this go by on my feed." And it just reminded us again that, like, in these last 10 days, I mean, like every 30 minutes, we're going to be putting something out.
Yes.
And what we realized is, for the very few people that are like, I'm going to unfriend this person or not follow because this is all I see. That versus, first of all the people that support you know what you're doing, so they don't care. But then also, most people, that's not their experience with what we're doing. It's literally if they open their phone at that minute of that day and they happen to see us go by with all the other 100,000 posts that go by. And the good thing is they own a podcast, and they were like, we want to get you on this podcast immediately. We didn't know there was only 11 days. Like, oh my God, we're going to get you some money. And then the same thing happened on Facebook today. Somebody that I've been friends with, which, you know how Facebook is. How many, I'd say maybe 30% of your friends on Facebook ever really comment or say anything to you. That's what I always love about Facebook friends. But again, somebody today literally was like, oh my God, when does it start? And I'm like, it's been going on. And they're like, holy hell. And that's because, think about it, except for maybe 12 people, how many times do you actually go to somebody's Facebook
Well,
page?
especially too, because I feel like Facebook has this algorithm where it doesn't actually show you all your friends anyway.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're friends with people, because a lot of times I'll be like, man, I really thought this one friend would at least repost it or something. And then I share it with them. And they're like, I haven't even seen this. I haven't seen one of your posts in forever. And it's because stupid Facebook doesn't show you all your friends. So it's annoying.
Yeah.
But let me show. Okay, so let me show the GIF because Tana is here. She just confirmed, and I'm really excited to show this. Okay,
this is good.
And keep in mind, I sound like you now with a movie when you like preface. These are GIFs which are made for the internet, so they are small, and especially on this app that we use for streaming, I have a better quality one, but it won't take the size of it. So they look a little grainy on here, but I will be posting them on social media after this, and they'll look a lot better. But this is the only way to reveal it on here is do it this way. So keep that in mind. But here it is. Here's Thumper. Ah! Oh, I'm so excited about this one. She looks like such a badass. She let us dump blood all over her multiple times. And for some reason on here, it's making the GIF like really dark. But you guys will see when I post it on social media. Super excited. I love this one. You guys are going to love Thumper in the movie. Tana did an amazing job. So Facebook is bad about that. I agree, Jason. It's ridiculous that they don't just show you all your friends. Like, they have a feature now where you can hide people that you don't want to see. So show me everybody. If I don't want to see them, I'll tell you. They want you to pay to boost your posts. Yeah, well, F that.
Oh, you already took it down?
Yeah.
Oh, you should show it again.
Okay. I was just checking the comments. Eek. Thumper. That's right. That's right. Sweet. Thanks, Steve. Tana, hell yeah. You look like a badass. So excited. Definitely badass. Looks so good. Nikki and Tana. Thank you, Jamie. That's my girl. So badass. Hi. Hi, Jackie. All right. I'll show it one more time. Here we go. Woo! Man, I'm so excited about this one. I love the Thumper bullet that's flying in the air. So stay tuned after this on social media. I'll post them. And Tana, I'm also going to send you via text the higher quality versions. So if you want to share it on other sites that you have like the good quality versions. But yeah, so.
Yeah, so we're.
And also, I will be adding Chance and Thumper's GIFs to my starting soon video by tomorrow. So.
Yeah. All that just takes time, you know.
Yeah, and I actually thought about, as part of one of the lives, because we are going to be going live for multiple hours from here on out, of doing like a screen share of me sort of working on these. I don't know if that's something you guys
pretty
would
sure
be
I said that, but yeah.
Interested in. I thought you said you were going to do it for your edit. I didn't.
Oh, I did. I probably didn't get to you.
Yeah. Kiss my ass. So yeah, if you guys would, thanks, Jason. Hey, Jackie. If you guys would be interested in that, you can kind of see the process that I go through to make these. So that'd be kind of fun. But yeah. So, anyways.
So let's see. What else were we going to talk about? Right, and then we have more behind the scenes videos, and they're going to get more intense, and we're going to be editing them together during the last week for sure. And what else did we have? I
did want to re-mention that we had 3 sizes of these jackets that already sold out for our perks. And there's only, let's see, extra small, small, medium, and 4 sizes left, and only 2 jackets in each size. If I'm not mistaken, I think somebody already bought one of the sizes. So there's only a few left. So if you want one of those jackets, be sure you go get it for sure before it sells out. All the GIFs look amazing. Thank you, Johnny. Always interested in behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, I think people seem to dig that, like kind of seeing bloopers or behind the scenes footage, so we'll definitely share more of that. And then we also, to remind anyone that's watching, we are filming a spaceship scene this weekend, and we can use all the extra hands and help we can get. So if you want to be here, text me and I will tell you what time. It'll be pretty much all weekend that we're filming. We have different things for different days, but
yeah, we have a lot of filming, a lot of special effects going on. There's a couple of scenes that I need people. This is the time that the people are here are going to see, because they do this in higher budget movies too. I just need to see your hand grab like a doorknob, or I need to see your hand close up grab a gun. All those type of things. So it's going to be interesting to see how the actors and everybody. I'll be running them ragged because I'll be like, "Now I need you over here to bend down," and I know what's going to happen, because that happens, and it's what I love about actors. They're going to be like, "No, wait a minute. I was wearing the different shoes," and I would be like, "I'm only seeing your thumb. Put your thumb up." Okay, well, where am I in the scene? I don't care where you are in the scene. Put your thumb up. because I'm actually inserting tiny little parts into an edit, and I go, I've already got the scene where I shoot off your face. I went down to catch your hand, but you were holding a Hershey bar, so I didn't get it, but now I need it. And put your thumb up.
B-roll filmmaker words.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. It is confusing. Like, he does that to me sometimes when we're shooting. He's like, all I can see is your eyeball. Stop asking questions. I'm like, okay, sorry.
Right. It's like, hey, Donnie,
hey,
how's
Donnie,
it going?
what's up? So yeah, and then also we are going to be adding that perk. I think we had said we were going to add it like tomorrow, the 10-day mark, where you can buy it, and there's only going to be one. We're deciding on the cost, but Tank will actually say your name in the movie at some point.
Or whoever you want.
Or whoever's name. If you don't want it to be your name, it could be someone else's name or your
and it's not
kid or something.
It's not a. That's what I want to spend a little time talking, or when we post it, to make sure that everybody knows. It's not a throw off, and it's not like you're not going to be able to hear it. There's a specific reason that she has to bring up somebody that we never see on the screen. So it'd be a really cool thing. But also, I do want to say this again. You know, to all the people that are going out there, I am just stunned. We have so many people that are in the movie, and I can tell they've gotten their parents to donate $5. They've gotten their friend. We had one person at Quick Trip who donated $1 and was just like, there was a guy in here talking about it, and he was like, you got to support them. And they were like, I don't even know what this is about, but here's $1. And I was just like, man, that's on you guys. And we know who it was. They told us who it was. And those are the type of things I'll never, ever forget. That is very sweet of you all. I mean, you guys are out there pushing really hard. And I can tell you guys are sharing all the posts. You guys are interacting. It's just wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And just want to say thank you again for that. So, so this weekend again, we're going to be shooting a lot. We're going to be live a lot. Matt and Lori are going to be on here talking a lot about special effects and makeups for the film.
We're doing another GIF picture with an actor that's showing up. We're also going to be doing some live while we're filming. Some other actors will be here. 2 people
that have been hounding us every day. Please, I want to come out there. I want to shoot.
Yeah.
And so I finally used it today. I was like, you're just now coming around and wanting your pictures done. I was like, well, also, we need some help on painting this spaceship and everything. And they were like, fine, I'll give you 2 hours. And we're like, okay, there you go. Anyway, so that's going on.
1 second, sorry.
Also, the watch party is Tuesday night, and Nicole will probably be doing that. I'm going to have to be doing some editing, but I'll be popping in and out during it. And then we figure there'll be a lot of Q&A afterwards. So we will definitely be answering questions. And then we've gotten, I wouldn't say a lot, but we've gotten probably 18 people who asked if we could stay on afterwards and run through it again. And when people have questions, stuff like, how did you film this here? Or
I wasn't sure if I should do that the same night because it is a work night, school night, whatever. So I might do it a separate night where we do the watch and talk. And the first night is just going to be the watch and Q&A afterwards. Right. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to start early, like 6:37, because I figure that gives people time to get home, make dinner, do whatever they got to do. And then if it starts around 7, the movie's about an hour and a half. So you won't be up too late. And we'll just do the questions after. And then maybe Wednesday, I'll do the one where I stop and talk or something.
And I think what we decided is we'll let that depend on you guys. You know, if you guys really want us to do one where we stop and talk afterwards, we will. We'll just take it from there. So again, from all the social media platforms, we kind of correlated a bunch of the questions. So one of them is they wanted to know 3 hilarious moments of filming on either movie. So I was like, okay, well, that'd be kind of interesting. So I'll talk about one that was pretty hilarious for me. Was after we did the first movie and larger distributors were wanting to talk to us, we had one company who was very serious wanting to talk to us, and they offered to pay for us to come to LA and meet with them for 3 or 4 days. And so we were like, okay, but we don't even have enough money to stay in LA. The hotels are expensive. And they said, nah, we'll put you up at a nice hotel. And they did. We drove, I think, straight through because there wasn't a lot of time. They wanted us to fly, but I don't fly. So I was like, we'll drive straight through. And so we got there.
Matt's little dance.
And let me explain how Nicole and I drive usually. I drive, she sleeps, and we stop to go to the bathroom, and then I drive, and then she eats, and then she sleeps, and then we have to go to the bathroom again.
You eat. You know what?
Oh, no, I eat too.
You shut the hell up
I
over
eat too.
there. You eat.
But I do the majority of the driving.
You like it that way.
And since it was my fault that we had to drive, I was like, well, I'll drive straight
exactly.
through.
We could have been there in 30 minutes
Yeah.
in the flight.
That is true.
You make us drive 12 hours.
So we get there, and I am dead tired. And we have to meet them the next morning at like 8 in the morning. And we got in about, it was almost midnight. And they gave us a top floor room. And because I am who I am, I drag everything up. She opens the door. I walk in. I drop all my luggage, and I immediately take off everything I have because I go, I'm going to jump in the shower, and I'm going to walk over there and fall in that bed and pass out. And she's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm stripping all my clothes off. And so she starts putting bags down, and I am butt naked, and I'm standing there, and I look up, and outside, the whole room had a window that was from floor to top, side to side. It must have been 15 feet wide, 12 feet tall, just looking at the skyline. And I'm looking there, and I'm standing there, and I go, Nicole, turn the lights off. And she went, what? I was like, turn the lights off right now. She was like, what? I was like, turn the lights off. And she turns around, and literally about 14 feet from us, eye level to us, is a nightclub on top of a building, and that whole nightclub was standing there staring in the window at us. And I was just like, fuck my life, turn the light off. I was like, I cannot believe.
You know what I like about this story? Here's my favorite part.
So then we had to crawl over on our hands and knees, and they
No. Oh, no. This is the best part, okay? Here's Oak. Here's Oak. He's standing there. I gotta reenact because it's the best part.
Oh,
He's standing like this, naked, right? In the window, like this. And I'm like, what? And he's like, close the blind, shut the lights. Now, any normal person, okay, if that was me, if I stood up butt naked and I would have been like, shit, and ran to the bathroom, right? No. He just keeps standing there like this, hands on his hips. I was like, what are you doing?
I was like, well, I was frozen.
So I'm running around.
Like, I couldn't move.
I'm running around. Run to the bathroom, you dingus. Oh my god.
Anyway,
yeah, it was hilarious. Well,
that was,
so mine is on that same trip.
Oh, this was pretty good.
I finally did get to drive, or had to drive because he was tired. And he goes, look, okay. And I think at this time we were still working off of like the printed out GP, like we didn't have a GPS or something. It was an old one or something.
Yeah.
He's like, you just stay on this highway until I wake up, because we were on it we're going through like Texas or something. So we were on the same highway for a really long freaking time. He's like, I only need an hour or two. You just stay on this road. I'm like, okay, got it. So I'm driving. But then the GPS, we had a GPS. It was only like TomToms, and it was old ones.
Yeah.
It was like, stay on Highway 32 or whatever the fuck it was. And I get to this area, and there's like 2 Highway 32s. And I was like, which one? So I go to the right, thinking, well, I'll stay right to the right. That would be the right one. And somehow this Highway 32, we end up on like some dirt road in the middle of fucking nowhere. And what wakes him up is we leave the pavement, and I see it coming. And I don't know what was happening in my brain, but I was just like, I'm just going to keep going. And we see there, and the road ends, and we get onto this bumpy ass gravel. And I'm like, and he wakes up. He's like, where the fuck are we? I was like, you said Highway 32. I don't freaking know. So yeah, I went the wrong way for like an hour.
So I'm gonna share one more. This was hilarious. So that next morning, we only got like 4 hours sleep. So again, because I had to give directions, she's driving, and the producers wanted us to meet them at their house, and of course, this big huge mansion place, and they have a gate, and they have a key code, and so we pull up, and I'm like, I don't know what, I was like, I don't know what to do here because the gates didn't open. And she was like, well, here, I'll hit this intercom button. So she hits the intercom button and they say, hey, great, punch in this code. And so right before Nikki does, she fixes her lipstick. She readjusts her breast within her bra.
Yeah.
She's like doing this. And then I'm like, well, look at my nose. Do I have anything in my nose? What am I?
I'm like checking my teeth in the
smelling
mirror.
each other's breath. And then over the intercom, they go, so we can see you all, number one. Number two, just hit the green button and you guys can come in. And we both went, oh yeah, cool. And we hit the green button and then we were like, oh my
Try to
God.
play it cool after that.
Yeah.
It's not very easy.
It was
So
not fun.
we get into some shenanigans for sure.
Now, one last one that has to do with movie filming, and I'm sure some of you've already heard this, but I was filming this really grueling scene with Nicole at the very end when she's getting ready to meet the monster face to face in the first movie. And we had shot it, my God, we must have shot it 12 times. And I wasn't happy with the performance and she wasn't happy with it. And so we actually built ourselves into that room, and we must have been in there like 8 hours. And I was waiting until she was just worn down, like screaming, shaking, mad at me and everything. And in the scene,
thanks, Jamie.
she has a knife, and she's supposed to take the knife and throw it into the ground. Real simple cut, right?
You know what?
We see the knife come out of her hand, and then I cut down, and we see the knife stuck in the ground. Well, I told her, I was like, look, this is a fake knife, but the end of it's really sharp. Just make sure, because I'm standing right in front of her, when you throw it down, make sure you don't hit my feet, just hit it off to the side. And she literally screamed at me, I'm not stupid. I was like, fine, keep that going. I was like, because sometimes maybe you are stupid. And she's like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, there's it, that's it. Roll. And she's got it. She's nailed it before. She takes the knife out. She throws it down, and I keep it going. And then we stop. And she was like, how was it? I was like, well, it's great. But right now we have a problem. And we look down, and she took that knife and stubbed it right in my foot. Like, whang!
I
It was
swear.
sticking right in the shoe. And you can see a little bit of blood coming up off the top of it.
I
And
swear
I'm
it was not on purpose. I swear. I
was
swear.
just like, oh, there you
I
go.
was mad, but it was not. I would never do that on purpose.
But I got the shot. I
But
didn't stop until
what
we
we
got
did,
the shot.
what that did do is from here on out, on any set that we have, I'm not allowed to have any weapon in my hand that is real in any sense.
Yep.
They're all very dull blades or totally fake guns, of course. I'm not allowed around any sharp objects that are going to be thrown or anything like that because I have terrible aim. I don't do the sports, okay? I do the dance. I don't do the sports.
Yeah,
I
that is
don't
true.
know how to throw things.
So 3 grueling moments. I would say that was actually one of the most grueling moments of the first movie.
Getting a knife in your foot?
No, I mean that. And by the way, it didn't go through my foot. She actually hit it right between my big toe and the next toe, but it just sliced off a little
So maybe I have
tiny
better
bit
aim than I think.
inside. But it actually, she threw it hard enough that it went through the shoe and everything.
Ooh.
Anyway, but I would say overall, that was one of the most grueling moments.
I love these kind of stories when they happen to someone else. I agree. After I made sure his toe wasn't sliced off, I thought it was pretty hilarious.
But you should talk about how that was as an actor, because I know it was really hard on you.
Well, yeah, so I think I've mentioned this before in the lives where every actor sort of needs something different to motivate them. And that scene in particular was just very emotional. Like, it wasn't emotional in the sense of crying, but, it was the pinnacle of the movie. Like, I'm finally going to meet the creature, and my character is supposed to be, she just went through this battle of tunnels, and her whole team's dead. She lost her package. She finally gets to this room and gets out of the tunnels and realizes she's trapped, as far as she knows at that moment, and the creature's coming, and it's just this, it was a huge thing. And so I was struggling to get the performance that he needed, and he knows me. If I'm struggling, all he has to do is piss me off. So he starts yelling at me, starts telling me I'm the worst actor he's ever seen on the planet. He starts being like, what are you even doing? And it gets me worked up, and I'm cussing at him, and I'm freaking out, and then I can do the performance. I'm trying to improve my skills so that doesn't have to happen as much, which I think on this movie that has happened way less.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
but still, sometimes I need that if it's something I'm really struggling with. So it was, of course it's hard, of course, because when you're being told that in the moment, I needed to believe it because that's what got me in that zone. But also, I'm hearing it from his mouth, and we're together, so that was hard. But that's also why it's become super important that at the end of each shoot night, I kind of come to him and we talk, and he's like, great job, and we get together and we separate the relationship from what happens on set. But it was definitely the hardest scene to shoot as far as the acting and performance goes. Was that scene?
Well, I also the scene in the box because you had a hard time. Like it was a very fine line on. You needed to be scared. You needed to
with
show,
package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You needed to show some strength.
Yeah,
But
that was
I
like
also,
a precursor to that end scene for sure.
Because I definitely don't like at all when I go, I need the actor to look like they're sad, and I don't know what it is about all actors. They can't wait to get on set and start crying. And I go, yeah, that
the cry hearts. We had a joke about that.
Yeah. And I go, no. What would break me down more is to see somebody fighting to keep from crying and just show me a welled up set of eyes. That's more impactful to me than just somebody sitting there bawling.
And honestly, I find that much harder than crying. I can cry at the drop of a hat. If you need me to cry, I'll freaking cry. But doing that whole subdued, like you want to cry, but there's no fucking way you're gonna cry, is a lot harder. You have to be here mentally to do it. Like you can't be fake. You can't fake that. You can't. I can fake cry in 2 seconds and probably be semi-believable.
And I would say the most grueling for me was definitely the dirt tunnels.
I agree, Steve.
In the first movie. And also, we haven't shot those yet, but I've started rebuilding an even tighter tunnel for this movie.
Yes,
and crawling 30 feet inside a space that even I can't move. My hands have to be outstretched, and I'm carrying sod, and I'm inching like an inchworm, and it takes me 30 minutes to get to the middle of the tunnel, glue it in. Then I have some rope set up to my feet, and Nicole helps me get back out. It just takes, by the time I'm done, it will probably have taken me 7 days just to get the set built for that. And it's just, it's the grueling part. Everybody has ideas, and I've tried everything, and it just does not look right unless you do it that way. So, you do what you got to do. I mean, I still love it, but that is the grueling part.
But also, speaking of funny moments, that scene we were just talking about, that end scene where Kitty screamed at me and everything. Another thing that made it so hard is by that point in the process, literally everybody left. And there was nobody to come back and help us. Like, we asked a few people, they couldn't do it or whatever. So not only did he have to film it, not only did he have to try and get me into the performance, not only was I struggling, but we had to do the lighting, and we had to do the sound, and we had to do everything. And his poor mom...
I remember,
had to come down here with a broom because the creature was supposed to be coming out of the hole, and we piled dirt in the hole, but we needed the dirt to start trickling out. So his poor mom is down here with his long ass broom on the other side, shoving dirt.
Hearing me and Nicole scream at each other.
Right, shoving dirt out of the hole so it can trickle out. And it was just, in a way, it was kind of funny when you look back at it, but it worked out. I have found quantifying the emotion and mental state is the most important thing to be able to communicate to the actors so they can put forth what we want on camera. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely helps. And actually, I think that's a big part of what helped on this movie is I learned from that. And so now before every scene that I do, I come up here with him for at least 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, where's Tank at in this scene? What are you wanting her to portray? What does she need to be telling people in the audience? What's happening? And we've had those conversations, and I think it's really helped me not struggle as much. I still have struggled, trust me, but not as much.
Because one thing that I've learned, and I don't think it will ever change, no matter what level you're working on. I say this over and over again, but I don't think actors clearly hear what I'm saying, which is what you're fighting, what the actor is fighting, is the camera in their head. They think when they're practicing in front of a mirror, here's what the performance is going to look like. And I always say, you got to get out of your camera and trust mine, because maybe I can't see your hands. Maybe I'm just on your face. And maybe you gave a performance that it was all in your hands. And that's not what's going to work right here. I'm on your face, and I'm telling you right now, your face is not where it needs to be. And and I know it must be very tough for everybody because they have an idea of what it's looking like. And I go, no, you don't. I think the biggest example I can give is everybody always tries to give like a large performance. And I go, no, I'm right up on your face. And literally, you don't have to look over there. All I this much, and it's going to look like you're curious instead of like. And I go, what are you doing?
I remember we even did one scene that was similar to that. He was here, and he's like, I can't see your hands. So in my head, because I'm again actor brain, I'm like, well, how about now? He's like, you don't need your fucking hand. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it just, it's the communication thing. But
I can give a perfect example of it here. I remember the scene. I was like, look, I can't even see your hands. And she was like, well, what about now?
Can you see them now?
And I'm like,
are they in the frame now?
Well, yeah, now I see your fingertips and I can't see anything else. And she's like, okay, what about this? I'm like, get your hands out of the shot.
You know what?
Yeah.
Oak shows quality over the idea of half-assing it, and the proof is in the movie quality. Thank you, Steve. I agree.
Thank you.
I agree.
My
Jim
angry,
C.
sad, happy, and surprised. Hey, Jim C.
What's up, Jim C? No, it's not, man.
Yes. Yes.
No, it isn't.
There.
I actually think he did a really good job.
No, it's not.
No, he did a good job.
Jim C's actually really good. He's really good. He's a trooper. He would be what I would call a method actor, and we all know why. Never seen anybody take. Well, you know what I'm talking about. I thought he was going to die, but yeah. So, but here's how I'll share it. His character is supposed to be taking a drug, snorting a drug like somebody would cocaine. And so he went, take the equivalent of if he had poured cayenne pepper out and snorted that to try to get a facial reaction. And I was like, man, I don't know that you need to go that far. I mean, just pretend. He said, no. And we lost him for about an hour of him throwing up here and tearing up and everything. But it looked great. It looked fantastic. Oh, man. Okay, what else we got going on here? Yeah, so let's go through it one more time. Again, we want to thank everybody. Again, how far you all are going is, like I said, we even had a guy from Quick Trip who didn't know about the movie at all, but one of you went in and he gave us $1. He was like, I don't know, I don't want anything. He was like, this guy was just so passionate about it, and he was like, we need people from Oklahoma, and they signed up and gave us $1. So I know how much you guys are out there pushing it, and it does help. We appreciate it so much. It's really cool. It's really cool. And let's run over real quick of what we're going to be showing tomorrow.
Okay.
And what we have coming up.
Yeah. So tomorrow we are going to do a live with Matt and Lori, and I think there's one other actor that'll be here at that time, about talking about special effects, because built the creature and Lori did a lot of the blood work and special effects and stuff, so that we're going to talk about that with them and get into a little more detail than we have before, because they'll be able to answer the questions, and then we'll probably go live for like an hour with them, and then we also have scenes to film that night, so we'll probably go live again. Yeah,
a couple hours. This will be the last short one we do.
Yeah. And then next week, on Tuesday, I'm doing the watch party at 6:37 on Tuesday, where we watch the first Crawl or Die, and then afterwards I do like a Q&A, answer any questions anybody has. Right. We're adding a perk tomorrow that Tank can mention your name in the movie, or whoever's name that you choose to have her mention. And then there was one more. What else? Oh yeah, someone did ask about the lighting, like how we did the lighting. I didn't know if you wanted to cover that today.
We were going to talk about the lighting and how we handled it, and also how independent filmmakers can consider, no matter what they're shooting, just some tips that might make their job a little easier.
I agree, Steve. We'll shove some shots in them or something. We'll get them to talk.
Yeah, and then from that day on, by Wednesday, we'll probably be going 10 hours, and then the last 3 days we'll probably be live.
Like he'll do a screen share where he's editing a little bit. I'll do a screen share making some of the GIFs that you guys can watch. But we'll be on there for a long time, so if you want to come in and
And then
chat, or if you just want to watch.
for any of the actors, strong people, Jimsy. We have
Yas, rum.
we're doing a spaceship scene, and I'm going to need at least 4 or 5 people here to help me carry it outside and all that kind of stuff. And plus, we're doing a lot of shooting, so I'm not saying you specifically, Jimsy, because we know that you don't share anything and you really don't have time for this. But other than that,
He probably already left.
yeah, he probably already left. We love Jimsy to death.
I'll drag some wenches up from the Renaissance Fair, get Matt talking.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he can get into his Renaissance character. He usually talks better in character. Maybe that's what we should do. We have him be up here as Joker.
So throw the GIF up one more time.
Yes.
For everybody.
This is the new GIF we released today. This is Thumper, Tana. And please, I'll post a better quality one, but this app only takes a certain size, so it looks a little grainy. But I will repost it online after this, and it looks awesome. Super proud of it.
Yeah, it's all... yeah, Steve, I mean, I appreciate that. That is one of the things that, because of everything that's going on, the insurance, the reason that we were able to get it at the quality that we could afford it, we just, everybody on set had
All right, guys. Well, the last 2 nights, I don't know what's going on. It's like our internet knows we're trying to do a live stream and it just fucks with us. But yeah, so it's messing up again. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. But we'll be back tomorrow with Matt and Lori and some of the other actors. Share. We got 10 days tomorrow. Today's 11 days. So as of tomorrow, we got 10 days left. So it's going to be the big push to try and get the campaign. So any sharing and support you guys can show would be really helpful. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye. It's electric.
true.